Have you ever told yourself you needed to be or act a certain way because of choices you've made in your life? Yeah, I kind of thought so. Whether it's your career, a relationship, or even a place you live, you've likely put yourself into a metaphorical box at some point or another. You may even be there right now. But guess what? You don't have to remain there. You can indeed take your power back and start living into your full capacity so that you are in fact doing what lights you up in life. It's called owning your power, and it's what I'm talking about this week in episode 46 of the Health, Harmony, and Happiness with Kathy podcast. Welcome to Health, Harmony, and Happiness with Kathy. I'm your host, Kathy Stricker. I'm a state patrol wife, mama to 3 lively kiddos, a yoga teacher, certified NLP coach, and an energetic rhythms expert. As an energetic rhythms coach, I help action-taking women use their body's rhythms and the moon's cycle to optimize productivity and avoid burnout without letting their desire to remain in control alter their focus. And this podcast is all about doing just that and perhaps a bit more so that you can create your own path to health, harmony, and happiness. So come along with me and may this episode serve as a nudge to discover tools that could help you on your path towards more intentional living. Enjoy the show. Okay. Hello, friends. If you're catching this as a podcast episode, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that you found me. Uh-oh, my sound was not muted. Okay. If you're catching this as a podcast episode, like I said, hello, welcome. I'm back and I'm so glad to be. And this is what we're talking about today. So I've had some recent discoveries, some recent, healing stuff that's happened for me. And it's been beautiful. And I'm still feeling my way through it, but I want to share the journey as I'm going with you because it could be helpful to you. This may resonate with you in some way or another. And I want you to know about it. Okay. So last week we talked about masculine and feminine energy and how it's kind of like a battery and you need both the positive and the negative side. You need both the masculine and the feminine side for anything to work, right? And I told you that we need those in our lives in somewhat balance so that we work at our full potential, so that we can feel our best, so that we can give our best selves to others. Well, it goes a little bit deeper than just the masculine and the feminine. Yes, you do need both. You absolutely need both. And there are smaller elements or phases, maybe even, that make up both the masculine and the feminine qualities. Qualities is a good word. So there's smaller, maybe qualities. You've heard me talk about the feminine being associated with lunar qualities, right? And how the masculine is associated with the sun or solar qualities. But in fact, both masculine and feminine have both lunar and solar qualities. What? Like mind blown. When this was brought to my attention and my awareness, I was like, it all makes sense. It all makes sense to me now. We're going to go in deeper to what that all looks like next week. But today, I just want you to know that if you feel like you haven't been living at your full capacity, you don't have to anymore. Have you ever felt that way? Have you felt like you haven't been, like your whole self, your inner guidance has been like thwarted, or like the light has been diminished, pushed out, and you haven't been living at your full capacity? Have you felt like that? Drop that in the comments. I want to know, so that I'm not alone, right? Like I can't be the only one out there who has felt like this or who was feeling like this. And I didn't realize, I'm going to tell you, friends, I didn't realize I was feeling like this. And I felt like this until I didn't feel like it. And I had felt like this for years. And I don't anymore. It's gone. And I'm like, I don't know, like, I'm just like bursting. I want to share this with you, and I want you all to be able to experience that as well. So for what it's worth, um, I had this realization. I'll kind of back up and tell you a little bit more about what's happening here. I realized that I had been giving my power away, which meant that I had not been living in my full potential. I'd been making myself small in spirit, believe it or not. Like, I know that's hard to say. And basically, I'm confessing to you that I have not been showing up authentically as myself. But consciously, I wasn't aware of that. Consciously, I thought life was good and I'm showing up as my best for you. Surprise, there's better. I can be better, just like all of you can be better. You absolutely can. There's always room for improvement in people, right? And I know that. I'm not saying that I didn't think I needed to improve, because believe me, there was a lot of healing that needed to happen, that still needs to happen, but I'm uncovering it. This me giving my power away, I know it stems from my wounded inner child. And I think I might have shared, I've been doing a lot of an inner child meditation to work with my inner child and to allow her to come out. But I had given my power away years ago, and even I'm not talking like in my childhood I gave my power away. That's initially where it started, but in more recent years, decades, I had given my power away and didn't realize it. But I had the realization recently that it's no longer serving me, and I don't want to be living that way anymore. I want to be my best self. Have you ever felt this way? Please tell me I'm not the only one. That maybe you're giving your power away to someone else or something else. And maybe you didn't realize it was happening. Like I didn't realize it was happening. But something sparked this little fire in me that I hadn't seen in a while. And like I said, a while being years. And it reminded me of who I am, who I was, and honestly, who I still could be. You know, as I've been reflecting on this, I would get glimpses of that self when I was in various settings. When I maybe go on vacation, I would, after a day or so, I would start, maybe even the day of, I can think of times, I would start to let this self out. And she would come to the surface, and she would be there, and she would be a completely different person than I was when I wasn't on vacation. This might sound familiar to some of you as well, especially if you have little kids, because goodness, it's hard. It's hard to manage all the energy of little kids and your own energy and your spouse's energy. It's super hard, super, super hard. So maybe vacation is the time where you allow yourself the freedom to let your inner child out. I would also get glimpses of her when I was with my friends, and it was just the feminine, just surrounded by the power of my feminine relationships and connections. And then I'm sure there were other times. Those are the two that come to mind right away that I think about. But those were times that I know that I would let this inner self out. But I just kind of figured I chalked it up to like the freedom of, not having responsibility, no kids, or whatever it would be. It's not, it wasn't. Of course that helped. But I realized that you can indeed have the responsibility and do all the adulting things that we all have to do, and still have your power and still feel your best and be your best. So I realized that I didn't have to be defined by this little box that I had put myself in, or that I had been putting myself in. And friends, you don't either. You absolutely don't have to be defined by that box, whatever it may look like, that you're putting yourself in. The stress, the overwhelm, the chaos of maybe feeling like you are trapped with your kids all day and have to entertain them until your spouse gets home and then they'll sort of help, but it's still on you to get dinner ready and it's still on you to do all the things. You don't have to be trapped in that mindset anymore. You don't have to be trapped in giving your power away like that. You can take it back whenever you want. Of course, it takes healing work and it takes this willingness to change. But with that, you most certainly can take your power back. You absolutely can, friends. It's not out of the question. It's not impossible. And I'm telling you, I'm walking this path right now so that I can help you better. I'm absolutely walking this path right now. 11, my clock in front of me says 11:11. It's a little bit fast, but let's just give up a thanks for that number. And thank you for this time, and blessings down on all of us. There. Okay. Sorry, I had to stick in my woo. I was right mid-sentence, but that number caught me. Okay. So it takes healing. It takes work. And I'm walking this path so that I can hopefully better help you. And I'm so incredibly grateful for the revelations I've had over the past year. I mean, seriously, it's just been like peeling back layers and layers and layers and layers. And here it is. Like, I feel like I'm finally have my power back, and things that would stress me out, would bother me, would get under my skin. They're just not anymore. I'm not letting them. The expectation is gone. It's so freeing. And I want to help you do that too, friends. This is what I know. This is what I have learned. This is what has been brought into my awareness. I mentioned that there's these 4 elements within the masculine and the feminine, right? So it was brought into my awareness that there's the solar feminine. And when that was brought into my awareness, everything clicked. It all made sense. Like for now, that is the missing link that gave me permission to keep utilizing the solar energy that I felt in me and the lunar energy. So this solar feminine energy, we know that the masculine qualities or the solar qualities are to be more in control, to be the action taker, to be the doer, to be strong, to be the energetic one, right? And we know the feminine to be receptive and to be nurturing and to be caring and compassionate. So I'm going to try to break this down as best I understand it right now. But like I said, I'm still walking this path. So bear with me as I am uncovering and realizing and learning as well. But this is something that we all need to know. And I'm going to go into more details next week. So stay tuned, because next week I'm going to break it down even more, and we're going to talk about what that means. But for now, all I want you to know is that you absolutely can own that solar feminine energy. And the solar feminine energy is the ability to be strong, be playful, be creative. Also, the solar feminine is creative. It is not domineering. It is not controlling. It's energetic. It's passionate. It's confident. Those are the solar feminine qualities. You don't have to only accept the lunar qualities, which are gentle, receptive, nurturing, reflective, or living in those reflective states. They're both beautiful, and we need them both. And I'm going to tell you that the masculine, they also have the solar and the lunar qualities. So, well, we're going to talk about that next week. I'm not going to go into it, but you have full permission to still allow yourself to embrace those solar qualities, those strong qualities, those playful, creative, energetic, passionate qualities, and to be them in your life. And here's the balance that I talked about last week. Also, have the compassion, the lunar qualities, the nurturing, the reception. So you've got that action and that doing. Like, it's all together, and it's so needed to have them all together. So each of them has a time, each of them has a rhythm. And if you allow yourself to step into your own power, you will embrace and embody all of these qualities, right? Like, they will be a part of you, and you will be living in your best self. You will be owning your power once again. You absolutely have every right to do that. And you get to have them both. You get to have both the solar and the lunar. So when you listen to your inner guidance and fully embody all of these phases or elements or qualities or whatever you want to call them, you can indeed avoid burnout at any time and optimize your productivity. Allow yourself to let the solar feminine in, not just the lunar, but the solar feminine. This is going to change the way we do things, people. This is going to change the way we think about things. You've got it. Own your power. That's all for now, friends. The next episode of Health, Harmony, and Happiness with Kathy will be all about your solar feminine energy, why you need to know about it, and of course, how to use it. Until then, if you liked this or any one of the episodes before this, I would love your support. Take a screenshot on your phone, share it to your Facebook or Instagram stories, tag Cairn Yoga Wellness, that's CAIRN Yoga Wellness, or tag me, C Stricker, STRUECKER, or tag nobody. It's totally up to you. I would just love your support. And if you're not on social media, then you can simply head over to Apple Podcasts and leave a rating or review. Until next week, I'm Kathy Stricker, and you've been listening to Health, Harmony, and Happiness with Kathy.